Today, Precarious plays
Lost Kingdoms 2. Oh, you have so little imagination. You adorable, tottering child. That's what you are.
Yeah, why?
Because you asked me why we're playing more Lost Kingdoms 2, and the answer is so obvious.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So then I get to play more Lost Kingdoms 2.
So you've gotten attached to this game.
Oh, I've been attached to this series since I was a preteen.
Mm-hmm.
Since I was much more youthful than I am now.
So...
You tell me that there's a 20-floor bonus dungeon in the post-game, and you expect me to leave that on the table? No. No, get out.
Are you having done with the Are you having fun with the bonus dungeon?
I'm having all kinds of buns with the bonus dungeon.
Duns with the bonus bungeons?
Yeah. The Fun-geon dungeon.
The Fun-geon bunions.
On the one hand, it was probably just a little value add that somebody on the dev team put together fairly hastily.
Yeah.
Because it's reusing the same asset, the same like basic arena 4 times per floor.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it's more a game. If you like using the cards that you have on a variety of enemies, this place is basically unmatched in the series.
Are you still tuning up your decks, or do you feel like you've found the one?
I think I've got one that can do it. I think I've put one together that can take this place on. So I should probably explain why. So what I've done, there's a little bit of chaff that you can ignore.
Mm-hmm.
I got some capture cards in case I saw anything truly extraordinary. Because I don't know what would happen if I were to start over with the same deck. I don't know if it would bring me back to the current level or the first level. Now, for my own purposes, there isn't anything in here that I couldn't just come back and get on my own time.
Mm-hmm.
But if I can capture maybe like the boss of this place, while we are recording it, that would probably feel a little more climactic than accidentally stumbling into the final boss.
Yeah.
So I've got 3 transformation cards. You can ignore those.
Mm-hmm.
Really, all this deck is, it's a huge number. I think, 8 copies of Banshee.
Mm-hmm.
And then about a half a dozen-ish cards to support Banshee. So I have Larval Fly and Beelzebub. They actually do something very similar. Larval Fly cancels elemental relationships.
Mm.
Beelzebub does the same thing, but I think is a little more hardy. Yeah. Is a little more hardy and boosts the damage of everything on the field, your enemies included. So that's why I don't always want to use Beelzebub, but if I'm feeling confident, I can throw that down instead of a Larval Fly.
Yeah.
Then I have 2 Dryads to boost the power of Banshee, which naturally pierces defense.
Mm-hmm.
So it really just cares about elemental relationships, but because of Larval Fly or Beelzebub, basically this entire deck is centered around letting Banshee overcome fire enemies.
That's awesome.
Because Banshee is already good enough against every other thing.
And that's why you have the Larval Fly and the Beelzebub.
Right, and then I have a decoy pillar just in case I run into something large enough to warrant it. And then I've got Mind Flayers and Sea Monks, 2 copies of each.
Mm-hmm.
So I could hypothetically use all of the core cards of this deck. So all of the Banshees and all of the Dryads.
Mm-hmm.
I could use all of them. In short, I have 24 Banshees on my person. I've got 24 copies of Banshee, which should be enough to get me through anything this dungeon has to throw at me, I hope. Also, I've got a healing card in there. I think I put a Rebus in somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm probably not going to care too much about ranking. Like, I'll probably try to... Like, see, getting a 2 is very quick in this scenario.
Yeah.
Like, if I can get 2s, I'll be fine, so that way I can have a little sampling of the cards.
Mm-hmm.
See, I think that's new to me in this one. I think I had that in the first game.
Trickster.
Mm-hmm.
It's...
Oh, that's different. That's not a... I thought it was the green version.
No.
What? A helper creature that enables all friendly monsters to cause special condition damage in addition to their normal attacks.
Well, okay.
Terrible. That is an interesting inversion of the safety dance or whatever the green version does. It prevents status ailments from impacting you and your monsters. So I already think that I might have gotten through the hardest part of this dungeon for this deck.
Mm-hmm.
Because they start you in the fire zone. And now that I've overcome that, it might be smooth sailing. My big fear, personally, is that I'm going to get to a boss-type enemy, you know, at like on floor 10 or floor 20, and it's going to flatten me before I realize what's going on.
Yeah. Have they been bringing out any new enemies?
Yeah, a few, yeah.
Like
at
even
least,
now?
At least new to this game.
Yeah.
Like, this spider, I saw it in the first game, I think in the desert. And I know that I've already been able to have one, but I'm not sure if I've encountered... I don't think I've encountered this thing as an enemy in the series before.
Mm-hmm.
Stop it.
Yeah, I was going to say that motorcycle looks a little odd. Like, it's a motorcycle. Well, it's not a motorcycle, but it is motorcycle shaped.
I think it's supposed to be a steamroller.
Oh, okay. That still feels crazy. Is it a mechanical?
No, it's just an earth creature from before. You know, if they had made it in this game to start with, it probably
would have been.
Yeah, probably would have been a mechanical creature, but that's from the first game.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there was something else that I wanted to say.
You're just enjoying playing this.
Yeah, just having a good time. Oh yeah. So from a showcraft perspective, the worst thing that could really happen is going down a bunch of floors and then losing. But on the other hand, for me personally, it's sort of like, oh no, I get to play more Lost Kingdoms.
Oh man, we gotta go through this part of the game again. Mm-hmm. You know, that's a really good indicator of a good game when you lose and then you have to go through more of it and you're happy instead of just furious.
Yeah, you know, I think
that's pretty unique.
I think that what might set this game apart from its nephews, I suppose, the Soul series.
Yeah.
I think that Terra actually handles better than your character in Dark Souls. I think that the lack of what has become sort of like the expectation of a lock-on function, where it alters your movement whenever you're locked on, instead of just keeping the camera fixed.
Yeah.
Well, I say that, but I don't think, like, say Monster Hunter, whenever you're locked onto a monster, I don't think it changes your movement.
I don't remember it changing it.
Yeah. I might just be thinking of that because light bow gun is my go-to.
Yeah.
So I tend to actually be pointing towards the enemy most of the time. But that and the lack of a sudden bursty style of movement, you know? So a roll or a dodge, something like that. Oh, hello, everyone. Oh, no! This is my thing!
Did you prepare to fight yourself?
I mean, I'm... Actually, you know what? No, because if I drop down my dryad, they'll start blowing me up with increased power.
Oh,
I don't know what the heck that balloon thing was. No, it's fine. They're wimps.
Okay, it's fine.
When they're not on my team.